Hey, everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Suliadis and brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2, over 700 pages packed with everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and of course, PEDs. That's on Amazon.com. You can also pick up Real Bodybuilding, my book. And now, all the way from Athens, Greece, let's welcome the good Dr. George T. What's up, doctor? How are you?
I'm good, Ron. I just came back from my vacation, so it was good. A bit of a relaxing time, having seafood. Uh, I trained and I took all my replacement therapy stuff, and I didn't. I have to admit, I didn't have any serious junk food. Just a piece of meat pie.
What? Oh, that's all
Meat
you ate
pie.
for? That's the only bad thing you ate on your vacation?
Yeah, it's good. It has protein. Yeah, but I was very focused. I would say again, perhaps something less than 5 pounds, but a little bit of depletion this week. Yeah, my girlfriend ate it a lot. She's more hungry this time.
Yeah. No, I
And
think yeah. I said this is the best time to go on vacation because she's still not that big. Once
exactly,
she
yes.
and once the baby comes, you're not going on vacation for a long time. So perfect
Well,
timing.
actually, I was informed that I'm in the panel of the Olympia University this November, so I have to book my tickets. I mailed to Dan Solomon. I had a confirmative reply from his secretary. I'm gonna have the. I mean, anyway. So I have to rush now to book my plane ticket and my hotel. Most likely, I'm gonna book to Hyatt.
Okay.
And yes, of course, with Rick Collins. Also, we're gonna be the panelists speaking about the steroid culture, as last year also. But I think this has to be my last trip because after I have different obligations.
Yeah. Well, unless you bring the baby to the Olympia and the Arnold, I don't know. Maybe get Arnold to hold the baby up for a picture or something. Yeah. While you were this last weekend, Saturday, Andrew Jack won. He got
I
his
know.
qualification for the Olympia. He looked fantastic.
I mean, Hunter was a little bit blurry. I mean, he didn't have to compete. Seriously, he got the qualification. So now, stay focused, relax, do a rebound, perhaps a small off season. Why have to prove something? Because the Olympia is not now.
Yeah, but it's like, he's from Texas. So for him not to do the Texas
Agreed. Yeah,
Pro,
this is the point.
and plus people would have said you're scared of Andrew Jack. That's why you didn't
But
compete in
listen,
Texas.
all it matters is the Olympia. We know.
Yeah, I know. So
You know.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, he was sweating a lot toward the end. I don't think
Well,
it
I
made it
count
that
that
bad.
Andrew is gonna be definitely top 5, top 6.
Looks great. It's
Well, my,
fair.
my top 3 is Samson, Hardy, Derek,
Hmm,
and then Nick, and
yeah.
then Andrew.
Okay.
I don't think I have a feeling that Samson has a whole package.
Yeah.
And also
Hey,
very good is the Regan. Very good. I
Regan,
believe he's
yeah.
gonna crack the top 10.
Yeah, Regan's I've never seen Regan look like this before.
Impressive improvements, huh?
Yeah, I'm upset at Milo Sarshev. He was in Boston all weekend. He didn't even contact me. But he was there for UFC, the UFC fight. So I get it. It wasn't a big deal. But anyway, Doug, while you were gone, we got some more questions. We actually did like 3 shows in 4 days before this, guys, just so you know how hard Dr. T works to make sure we never miss a show. But we got some fresh new questions. First one is someone says, I had low T in the 300s, did a PCT, and now it's 655. But my prolactin is really high at 50. Why did it increase? I never took PEDs. What happens when you have high prolactin?
Well, prolactin can increase out of stress, insomnia, SSRIs, low thyroid, even marijuana.
Hmm.
So it's multifactorial. And it happens. Also, taking DACA doesn't necessarily always increase prolactin. It just happens, and is among those reasons that I referred. But DECA and Tren, perhaps allegedly they do so, but always work with this. Now, in this case, this gentleman has to use the dopamine agonist, which is cabergoline, 36, he said, 36 nanograms.
It was his prolactin is at 50.
50, wow, that's a lot. So 2 milligrams per week for 1 month.
Okay,
We can lower this down to 10, 15.
If you have super high prolactin, will you actually lactate out of your nipple as a man?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
squid. Yeah, it's yucky. Eh?
I saw I don't know who put it on their Instagram, but it was a guy in the gym squeezing his nipple and milk was coming out of his nipple. It was squirting. It was like a cow. It's horrible. Oh, anyway, next question. I am 36. I've been weightlifting for years. At my current age, I'm definitely stronger, but my tendons are hurting, unlike in my late 20s. Any injectables that strengthen tendons, growth hormone maybe? And then he says you see Cuban wrestlers have double the tendon thickness. I don't know where he got that. I don't know. But
Yeah,
are
so
there?
GH along with TP500 and BPC 157.
Okay.
Perhaps could be also IGF-1, but the same if you inject for a long time. GH, and also use collagen powder along with vitamin C that strengthens the tendons.
Yeah, collagen powder's everywhere now. Everyone's putting it in their coffee in the US now. Next question is an exercise question from women. So they always want to know this, older women. What is the best exercise for women to tone the underarms? So I think she means the tricep because women get flabby.
Listen,
flabby
you cannot
tricep.
ask from a lady to do dips. It's very
Yeah.
difficult unless they have how you call this elevator.
An assisted dip machine. Yeah, they can do that.
So the easiest thing is press downs with a cable or reverse, perhaps with a light dumbbell of 10 pounds, behind the neck, or we use both arms.
Yeah.
And also now the close grip, very light things, or the French extensions, but doing those movements. But frankly, now even the reverse dips like this on a bench, she has to be strong.
True. I a lot of times when women ask about how to tone something, they have a lot of fat. Like we have an expression called
fat makes you bulky. It's not the muscle that makes you bulky. And actually, women cannot build that easily muscle, so don't be afraid to lift.
Yeah. So, but I mean, a lot of times when women say, "I want to tone this," they have body fat. They just need to lose body fat because it's
and
loose.
Tone the muscle. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. We call it big. Yeah, we call it. There's an expression we have here called bingo arms. You know the game bingo? It's this gambling game with they mark the things, the squares on the. They call it the numbers. Anyway, when you win, you're supposed to yell out bingo, and they throw up their arms. So women with like the fat arms, it's flapping all over the place. Bingo arms. So yeah, tone your arms, ladies. Work your triceps and get some body fat off. Next one. This is a good question. I'm going to make this the question of the week. Doc, at what age do men lose their ability and desire to have sex? Ability and desire, two different things. I know it's a multifactorial thing. It depends from person to person. But from your patience and experience, when do we say goodbye to our sex drive? Studies show that most men lose it between 60 and 70 years old.
How no way, that's too delayed. Come on. The andropause may hit in the mid-30s also. Oh. According to the lifestyle, it's multifactorial, but I mean, certainly in your 40s.
So he wants to know, what about if you're on HRT, so you're not losing tests like a 67-year-old man normally would.
It doesn't matter if you stay up all night or if you boost, no matter what, you're going to have the same level because you inject.
I mean, you've talked about patients. You have patients in their 60s and 70s who still have strong sex drives and still have sex, correct?
Without testosterone?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Do you have a lot of patients? I've seen a guy 67 to 65 to 70. He was 550 around. It was not bad. He was 90.
Wow.
Yeah. But I've seen youngsters in the late 20s having 300.
Yeah, that's true. As far as ability, we have these ED drugs now. So if you have sexual desire and you have problems, there's Cialis, there's Viagra. So ability is not even a question anymore. It's more a drive, because if you have no sex drive.
But Ron, I think the drive is more important. It's something from the brain. And also testosterone improves the sex, the erectile dysfunction because it produces NEO.
Yeah. I think sex drive varies from person. You might get one 65-year-old man who's just not interested in sex anymore, and another one who's looking at every single girl still. I've seen both types of guys. I'm 50. I'll be 54 in a couple of weeks. I still have, obviously I'm on gear.
So you enjoy much more having sex when you have the desire also picking up women, which is testosterone drive,
Right. Yeah, but definitely HRT, TRT, keeps us feeling younger and keeps our sex drive much higher, obviously. All right, that's a good question. Next one. Question, please. I started taking 40 milligrams of telmisartan 2 weeks ago. My blood pressure is still 140 to 150 over 90. Before I was taking it, I had the same values. Could it be possible that my body is not responding to this medicine, or should I increase the dose to 80 milligrams per day? How long does telmisartan need to start lowering my blood pressure? I'm on HRT, 250 milligrams of testosterone a week, 25 milligrams of aromasin 2 or 3 times a week, with 1,500 IUs of HCG a week and 50 milligrams of DHEA a day. But telmisartan is not changing his blood pressure.
Yeah, so I guess he has to lower his testosterone dose because 250 is slightly elevated. So if you cut it in half, maybe your blood pressure will drop. Of course, stop the table salt. You can use potassium from potatoes, bananas, and oranges. Stop the stimulants. And you can go to 80 milligrams. I'm taking also 80 milligrams telmisartan, not because I have a blood pressure, but because it will lower the hemoglobin, and also it will remodel the LDH. So it's beneficial for bodybuilders. I think telmisartan is one step further than losartan, which both are ARB. They block the aldosterone receptor. But listen, while I'm using telmisartan for 1 year, I'm getting severely hypotensive sometimes, that my systolic is below 10. It's horrible because you feel so drained and tired and you don't know what the heck. And so because of the blood pressure, and as soon as you take some salt and drink water, you feel great. So take it easy, because in the summer we have the vasodilation and we feel really screwed up when it's hot, and we avoid the saunas, for instance. And know that testosterone and all the steroids increase the blood pressure. So lowering this may avoid you increasing your telmisartan dose. So 250 is a lot, perhaps to you. To other people, not.
Yeah, I mean, low blood pressure is not good either. You know, we're all worried about high
you don't
blood
die out of low blood pressure, but you can die out of high blood pressure. It's better, but it becomes a problem also.
Yeah. Yeah, because my son, last time we went to the doctors, his blood pressure was a little low, and they were asking him, "Do you faint? Do you feel, do you feel dizzy, tired?"
Yeah, when you stand up, this hypertension when you're standing, especially, you feel dizzy for a couple of seconds.
Here's a very general question you've gotten 10,000 times. Can you give information about PCT? When do you take HCG and SERMs? When should you start the herbs which boost testosterone? Immediately or after stopping HCG and SERMs?
Yeah, so first you start kicking your balls with HCG low dose for a couple of weeks. And then you continue, you follow with the SERMs, because those two medications work antagonistically for the same reason, for the same effect. So HCG will shut off your LH, but will kick your balls for testosterone synthesis, while your SERMs will kick your LH from the brain in order to stimulate further your testosterone. And I suggest to provide ZMA, tribulus, maca, D-aspartic acid, boron, alongside from day 1 to day 30, let's say. So all the way. Of course, the job is done by the medications now, and also some vitamin D3, some cholesterol, and of course, 11 to 7, high intensity weightlifting, short interval times, beta-alanine to increase the lactate threshold, because through lactate, testosterone elevates, and creatine monohydrate because it increases intensity.
Good list of supplements right there. Our final question. Doc, you said something about the combination of GH and IGF-1 LR3 increasing the risk of cancer. How big is this risk? There are no cases of cancer in my family or anything like that. And to the trinolone, would it be safer if I take 500 micrograms only on training days, split into 2 doses, 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off? Which drug was that? Methyltrianolone?
M3, yeah. I mean, it's a trembolone derivative, is the highest toxicity pill
God.
And the most androgenic, the most anabolic doesn't compare to estrogen, but I don't find any particular reason unless you're a strong man and a competitive bodybuilder to take M3.
Yeah.
Why, man? Just to lift in the gym. There are other alternatives, less toxic, even 17 alkylated. It's like saying, how often should I take health testing? Come on, this is a devil itself, and you should try it only a couple of weeks before the show.
Yeah, we never even got questions about this M3 until recently. Must be like something people are just
I
getting
never use that, and it's very important.
I have no idea
It
what
makes
it
you
is.
sweat like a pig because it stimulates the BMR, makes you super aggressive, oily skin, it fucks up your liver and your lipids. Come on, do you need that
Horrible.
shit?
It sounds like
It's
the worst
even more
steroid
common
ever.
than the halo testing one. Anyway, now I cannot answer for sure, definitely, about what are the rates of cancer, but also cancer could be the effect of chronic inflammation in your bowel because of the food, in your liver because of other pollutants and toxins like alcohol, like steroid pills.
Yeah.
It could be also sun radiation. Okay.
Yeah.
Check out your tumor markers, CA, AFP, PSA, and CA 19.9. But actually, those numbers explaining relatively to the how cancer and tumor is processing, if it's suppressed or if it's accelerating. But you can do it in first place, your tumor markers, live a healthy lifestyle. And I think it's overrated. I mean, if you use a little bit of higher TAs, you can produce IGF-1. Using both, I think it's overkill.
I'm wondering who's doing that. Maybe if you're a pro
Dr. Hertog
bodybuilder.
does, but Hertog does 1 IU GH a day and perhaps, I don't know, 50 micrograms of IGF-1. And he looks skinny, he doesn't lift that much, so it doesn't create major anabolic drive. He just do it for anti-aging reasons, just to produce new cells, recuperation and rejuvenation. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed when I saw that you would be somebody trying to be Mr. Olympia if you're taking GH and IGF-1 at the same time.
Not only follistatin on top of this MGF plus a plethora of steroids. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Well, anyway, that is all our questions for this week, Doc. Welcome back from vacation. We're working on a very special guest for you guys. Don't want to spill the beans on that yet. Let's see what happens. Let's hope and pray. But if we get that, that's going to be awesome. Guys, pick up that book, and of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, put your notifications on. And if you have questions for the future shows, please leave them in the comments below. We appreciate it. And Doctor, we appreciate you taking the time. You've been very busy, but you're taking the time, making sure you never miss a show. That's how much you care about these viewers. You really.
This is 230 again. 230.
230. Yeah, 230 shows. How many questions? A lot of questions. A lot of questions.
2,300 questions at least.
Yeah, most of them about trend. Anyway, no, just kidding. So that's it. Thank you so much, Doctor. Appreciate you doing this every week. And guys, thanks for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.